ladies and gentlemen. I would like to once welcome you to the floor, not the floor, the classroom again. I mean, for some time now, we have been, because of COVID, we haven't met. And since the lockdown, this is the first company we are having a physical fat behind figures. Please note that it's physical married with streaming. So we have people here as well as others joining us online. So I want to say a big welcome to all those online as well. Company listed on GAS in 2015. We have missed Samba on this program for a long time, but they have promised to make it part more often than we have done in the past. I'd like to introduce the team from Samba, those on the high table. So we have represented here Dr. Letitia Osafo, the CEO of Samba. She's being supported by Mr. Jonathan Bassam, who is the head of finance, and Mrs. Samuel Ano, head of marketing here. And our hostess today from the Ghana Stock Exchange is Ms. Abna Amwa. She's our new kid on the block. She's our deputy managing director. She took office just this month, and so this is her first time appearing in that capacity. So, Ms. Amwa, you are very welcome to the Fat Behind the Figures program. And I believe that we'll be seeing more of her on this program as we go along in the year, God willing. So, as usual, it is the day for Samba. So I would like to hand over the mic to Dr. Letitia Osafo to take us through Samba's financials, their outlook, and then the way forward for the rest of the year in post-COVID. Thank you so much. Dr. Letitia, you have it.
Director of Ghana Stock Exchange and the able management. Our distinguished shareholders and board members here present, our loyal customers, partners, suppliers, friends of Samba Foods Limited who have a very deep emotional attachment of Samba brands, distinguished invited guests, the press corps, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to the Ghana Stock Exchange, the Security and Exchange Commission, for the opportunity to present the facts behind the figures of Samba Foods Limited. The presentation will show a clear picture behind the story of Samba Foods. The presentation, as we see here, will consist of our story, the present state of Samba Foods, our historical financial performances, our achievements, the future, and then of course some time for questions and answers. Ladies and gentlemen, Samba Foods is a wholly Ghanaian owned company, food processing and preservation company specializing in the condiments and the seasoning market based in Tema. Samba Foods Limited was incorporated and commenced business in 1993. Samba Foods Limited has developed and produced ready-to-eat convenience foods of Ghanaian origin and was the first to commercialize the production and distribution of the local traditional processes in Chicago. The company has grown into a major player in the processed food segment industry since 1993 and is a member of the Ghana Association of Industry. Historical facts of Samba Foods Limited. Samba Foods Limited started a backyard farm and cultivated on a small piece of land, pepper, but later realized the need to add value to this harvested pepper. This is a farm that we did some time ago. The idea of adding value to the harvested pepper brought about the establishment of processed foods and spices, that is what it used to be called, and was later changed to give it the name Samba Foods Limited in 2014 when we were listed. In fact, we started with 10 jars that were made from the kitchen to the local market and later was expanded to include restaurants. Now the idea has grown to be a multi-dollar business with various assortments, products like the Ghana paste, ginger garlic paste, ginger garlic onion paste, pakushito paste, fruit juices, roasted peanuts, and etc. etc. Looking at the performance of the products on the market, we have the segmentation of the products that we sell. Shito has about 39%, ginger garlic paste about 28%, the Ghana paste about 25%, and the others moving around 6%. Ladies and gentlemen, our current or present state of affairs of the company starting a micro initiative with less than $10 from the kitchen has become a real medium-scale agro-processing industry. Samba has its client portfolio, like we serve the local and international brands like the Ghana Armed Forces on peacekeeping operations, international hotels, some private inspectors, in addition to KFC Ghana, to the Counter Chicken Inn, the Pizza Inn, and other very, very interesting fast food chains in the country. Looking at for alternative source of funding, Samba Limited decided to go public to list on the alternative market of the Ghana Stock Exchange and has since then not looked back. The revenue generated from the IPO was actually used to purchase some modern and state-of-the-art food processing plants and machinery to meet the ever-increasing demand for products. Below shows some of the installed machines. This is a packaging machine that fills the sachets. We are probably the only company that has shito in sachets, and these are the machines that pack those the sachets. We have the dryers that dry all our raw material before they are processed, and then there are some of the machines that aid us, that is the garlic paste, the peeling machines, and others that will consume. We have a metal detector. One of the few companies that have a metal detector within our operations. The metal detector is so important and vital because if you have metal rests, because you're using metal equipment, and these there are some, when there's friction, you get parts of the metal, falling off, and this will land in the product. So no product from us goes without passing through the metal detector. we have the cookers, the bottling filling machines, and then we have a whole plant, an automated peanut plant, which produces our 500 kgs of peanuts per hour. It's fully automated. It consists of a whole. These are some of the storage tanks, some of the milling machines. That we use to process it. So you put granules here, you get it as a paste at the other end of the plant. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe one of the reasons why we are here is the financial performance of the company since 2016. There has been an improvement in the overall financial performance of Samba Limited since listing on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Sales performance of the company have been very impressive from 2016 to date, even though there was slight decrease in 2016 and 2018 due to the installation of the machines, which boosted the trend in 2019 by about 63%. The cost of sales we also measure in proportion to the turnover was our 55% in 2016, 52% in 2017, 50% in 2018, and moved up to 57% in 2019. The major contributor to cost of sales was raw material cost and overheads. Majority of the raw materials are procured locally, while a few are imported, all of which is done through an outsourced company. The relationship and pricing agreements may need to be looked at going forward to reduce the raw material costs. Ladies and gentlemen, gross margins. The gross profit margins over the years, the period shows about 45% in 2016 or 28% in 2017. 2018 reported a gross profit margin of about 50% and 43% in 2019. The explanation being that the raw material, really went up at that time. So, we really thinking of how we can reduce costs by sourcing straight from the farmers in the hinterland. So these are some of the things that drive operations. Operating expenses, this reduced by 26% in 2016, but was increased in 2017 by about 17%. We carefully monitored in 2018 and 2019, and that gave us a descending figures of 5% and 13% in line with the increased productivity. The focus on cost monitoring and reduction will continue to be a major strategy for the company going forward. Our current quick ratios average 3.6 and 2.21 respectively, confirming a strong liquidity position of the company. Gearing, the company's debt to equity ratio averaged 36% over the period, suggesting the use of equity and spontaneous financing rather than debt from financial institutions to finance our business. After the IPO, we have never been to any bank to pick money for working capital or so. We've been using our own generated funds to run. It is difficult though, but we are managing it. Going forward, we'll see how best we can source, because I was just we were just discussing the repayment schedule, of clients in the country. It is very, very, very difficult managing your cash flow when you have to sell on credit. But as we grow, we'll be able to put in structures and principles that will make us either sell on cash basis or with a very, very small credit facility. Ladies and gentlemen, the above analysis, company's financials, as analyzed, indicate a fundamentally sound business, but which has perhaps operated below scale in capacity due to the lack of physical space and infrastructure at its current location. Our achievements, ladies and gentlemen, speaks for itself. In the last 22 years, Samba Foods Limited has fulfilled the nourishment needs of millions of Ghanaians and expatriates through the branded traditional sauce in the seasoning and condiment market. Samba Foods Limited has been a major player in the said market and can boast of different branded products like pepper sauce, groundnut paste, roasted peanuts, etc. While selling all these, we have introduced new products. That is the ginger garlic paste, the ginger garlic onion paste, and the papochito sauce. Samples are here and on the tables too for you to have a look. Again, we have seriously engaged the services and the collaboration with research institutes in the country and even outside the country. Samba Foods Limited, in close collaboration with the institutions of food research and development circle, have almost reached the final stages of the underlisted products yet to hit the Ghanaian market. These are the ketchup, the mayonnaise, baked original spices for pelewele, spicy oil for tilapias, and the rest. These are all products that have been actually developed, and that is going to hit the market as we do or we execute our expansion program. Recognition and awards. I can tell you for a fact that we have received more than 25 different awards up to today. Samba has been recognized, and we received consistent recognition from various institutions, including even the Order of the Volta that was given to the company by the late Professor Samba, the President of the Republic of Ghana. The list goes on and on and on. At least 25 different awards since until last year. And there they are, all kinds of awards, the best African small company, all kinds of awards. You'll be thinking about our future. Samba has the ultimate objective to have a food processing emporium that produces a variety of Ghanaian foods and spices, including the fortification of our Ghanaian staples with minerals, vitamins, and other micronutrients to combat micronutrient deficiency syndrome in children, lactating mothers, women in Ghana, and eventually the sub-region. The Food Processing and Preservation Academy will be established to train the teaming youth in the food processing and preservation. This is our ultimate goal. That honestly, we really need to whip up the interest in food processing and preservation in Ghana, something that we really like. Our product portfolio, we are expanding our products and brand portfolio to meet the needs of the segment of customer base that we have until now underserved. We want to now enter into the B2C, that is business to customers. At the moment, we are doing mostly B2B, and then the bulk supply of the shuttle, the customer's product branding, certification or fortification of the shuttle with the micronutrients and minerals, and other few products like the ketchup, and then, as we said previously, the mayonnaise. In fact, this the fast food chains, especially KFC, they are waiting for these products. So once we are able to produce them in commercial quantities, the market is ready for these things. Yeah. We are facts. You know, I was discussing it too with when we came here. There is an urgent need of expansion that is relocating to our own land of land in Tema, where we want to build customized real food factories that will encompass the laboratories, the proper storage facilities, and of course to house everything. So we were thinking about the building and equipping a modern state of the art food processing facility. On our we have about 3.5 acre land in Tema. That's around the Accra Aflao motorway runabout. All the feasibility study and drawings have been completed. The project is yet to be awarded once the funds become available. These are the schematic diagrams or images of the proposed factory. Yeah, the divisions, the floor, all what we need to make this factory operational. Side elevations, the layout, and then in fact this is almost the artist impression of what is supposed to be the new Samba facility that will come at the intent. And that is the land that we have. It was bought from the 2000, the year 2000. In conclusion, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, especially Madam Deputy Managing Director, Samba Foods would like to show our deepest gratitude to Ghana Stock Exchange and all other regulatory bodies for their support and encouragement that they've given so far, especially to SMEs to be able to list on the exchange. Ladies and gentlemen, before I take my seat, I want to leave you with a piece to inspire us all. They say that the pessimist seizes difficulty in every opportunity, but the optimist seizes opportunity in every difficulty. For it is said that ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Thank you so much for your attention. I think now we're going to have the question and answers. Can I see now?
Yes.
Thank you.
The media, maybe kindly put your let's be a little accommodating. Thank you very much. I think Madam deserves another round of applause. We'll come back when I'm not coming, so this is just for Q&A, but we'll come back to it. So as usual, we the Q&A session, and you know the drill. You give us you raise your hand, you give us your name, and then where you're coming from. Proceed with your question, and then will answer. The mic will come round for so just draw our attention and we'll bring it to you. Note that you all have to have your nose masks on, and the nose mask should cover your nose, not just your lips. Thank you. So Q&A, please. And those online, you can also put your questions in the chat box. We'll pick it, and then you have one there, and then we'll answer them as well. Okay.
Yes, my name is Frank Bell. I am on the stock exchange. I have 3 questions for you. The first is revenue for 2019. I did notice that the 2019 revenue did increase very well, and congratulations for that. I'm interested in knowing the reason for the increase, and what is the strategy to maintain that increase going forward? The next one is cost of sales. You did raise a concern of the cost of sales for 2019 being 57% or thereabout, which is quite high. And among the reasons why you indicated is raw materials. And along the line, you mentioned that you are looking at a strategy to source the raw material from the original places. Currently, what what are you doing with it? How are you sourcing the raw materials? And if you decide to go to the source, what will be the impact of changing the source on the cost of sales ratio? Whether if it's currently is 57%, if you go to the source, will it go to 35%, for instance? So that we can know the long-term impact of that decision. The next one is debt to equity ratio. You did mention that since you listed, you haven't gone to any bank to raise anything. But I was also wondering why you have debt to equity ratio of 36%. And so I'm interested in the source of the debt. Was it there before the listing? And if it was there before the listing, why is it still hanging in there? Why is it still hanging in there?
Yeah, can we take this so they can run?
Yeah, now can we start? Thank you so much, Mr. Bell. The first question was the performance of the last year performance. It went out up really well. Why? Because at that time most of the machines were installed. So there weren't a lot of hiccups or time downs. So it's really but then the raw materials to feed into that is what was causing the deficit or the problems. So the fact that we want to now source it directly from the farmers, or we want to actually eliminate the middlemen. Because for instance, ginger costs about 130, 160 cedis in Ibira, but when it gets to Accra, it is 400 cedis. You see the difference? More than 100%. We are unable to buy large volumes, one, because of the limited space that we have. So it doesn't make so much sense to go to Ibira to buy 2 bags of ginger. So what we are trying to do now is to, once the expansion program is executed, we will be able to have temperature controlled storage facility for raw and perishable commodities like the fresh peppers, the ginger, the garlics. They will be stored under 4 degrees, and that can last for a very long time. And that one too, it makes sense. But with time too, we've had enough working capital that can go to the hinterland to buy directly from the farmers. So that's the strategy number what we intend to do. What is the next one? The what? The network. I'll give it to the accountant to address that.
Well, like you rightly said, Madam said we had not gone for any loan from the bank since we listed on the stock exchange. This debt was there before we listed on the stock exchange. So we are trying to find a way to reduce it as much as possible. Thank you.
Then the last one, the cost of sales. The cost of sales is it's answered. Once we are able to solve the storage capacity problems, that will solve itself. Because agricultural produce in the country, sometimes they are there in abundance, and sometimes they are pepper can go to so many percentage, 1,000%, whereas then during the bumper harvest, it can fall to almost very, very significant. So,
for instance, a raw material like onion, around February, March, it was around 330 Ghana cedis per bag. As I speak now, 620 cedis. So because we buy from the open market, that is why we are, as a strategy, trying to now go to the source so that we can have reduced and be able to improve upon our cost of sales level as well. Thank you.
Just a second. Are you done?
Are you done?
You have
Mr. Akbar, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Hi, my name is Ebenezer Sabiti from Joy FM Joy Music.
Yes.
My question has to do with your proposed new building.
Yes.
You did mention that you are waiting for funds in a
Yes.
way, and immediately the funds comes and
Yes.
you start the project. Will you also consider coming back to the market? That is either the gas or if you can move to the main market
Yes.
to raise some funds to do that.
Thank you so much. In fact, we are considering all the options that we have. We have actually spoken to our shareholders, and we are going to have a meeting and we will decide on that. Otherwise, I've been talking to some brokers who are also willing to assist us to come to the market. Otherwise, we would have to go to other investments, and even if it is outside. One thing that we shy away from going to the financial institutions is the traditional ones. It's the interest rate and the term of the loan. You know, such an investment, you need at least 5 million something, and then they'll give you, the highest they can give is about 5 years. And this is killing, and that is one of the reasons why companies do fail. And then if you have interest rates up to 30%, from 5 million, how much are you going to pay on interest alone? So these are some of the things that we are considering before we venture. But I have the tremendous belief that our shareholders will come back, or other investors will also come back and see the growth potential of Samba Foods, and then assist in granting us the money.
Those doing online, if there is any question, kindly alert us. Those streaming.
So from the online side, we have 2 questions currently. One wants to know if there are any potential or upcoming dividend payments, since some gas companies have started considering and then have started actually paying dividends. The second one is also asking why they are not seeing some of your food products on shops like ShopRite and then Melcom.
Thank you so much. Samba went to the market, I think 2015. So we are like almost 5 years. And every investor will tell you that, you know, a company starts making some form of profits after this period. We are not saying we shouldn't have done it earlier, but we went in with a little bit of debt. So we needed to really, but now, the last, if you look at the financials, if you look at it critically, you can see that we are now at the break-even point. Where last year, since November, January, until this year, January, we realized that the growth was astronomical. But unfortunately, we don't know it yet. Though, despite conflict, we are sure that we'll be able to make some profit, and I think of making paying dividend.
In the shop.
Then the next one is
the products in the shop.
yes. I was also discussing it with someone before I came in. We quit doing B2C business. Why? Because of the repayment cycle of these companies. So what we do is then we do only bulk to institutions who take our products as raw materials. Once we have been able to establish ourselves so well, where we can dictate our terms of payments, that is when we will go to the market again. We were there before and we burned our fingers big time. We were supplying all the mobile vans before even these people came in. You go, they will take 6 jars of sugar, and you go for that money more than using the fuel and every logistics for more than 6 months before you get the money. So it wasn't profitable. I would drive myself to Cape Coast, send goods to Cape Coast. When you go for your money after 4 weeks, the lady tells you, oh, Unilever was here, so I'm giving the money to people others. Meanwhile, you have your truck full of products. So what do? You give it again. And then before you get that money, it's 3 months. So we sat down, we did the analysis and realized that no, we are not making any headway. So we went to the Ghana Armed Forces, who took bulk. We went to cocoa processing, who took bulk. And now we are with these fast food things, they also take bulk. Then they pay you, though it's also about 4 weeks, it's still better than going to send 10 jars, 20 jars. No. That is the reason why we didn't go. But even then, if we decide to go back to we are not going to do direct sales. We are going to take distributors who would do the distributing, they buy bulk from us and then we distribute. So these are some of the things that we are thinking about. Thank you so much.
Just a follow-up
marketing.
on what you just said on the marketing.
The marketing.
Are you thinking of expanding beyond Ghana?
Yeah, sure. In fact, we do exports. We do exports, and we have private exporters who export our products to the US, to the Scandinavian countries. And then, for instance, KFC Nigeria is actually waiting for the professors. But because of capacity constraints and then the level of production, that's why we are unable to go. So once we will intensify our exploration in the export markets. Yeah. Marketing wants to add something.
Yes, what I wanted to add is looking at our expansion projects. I think we've indicated that we wanted to move to the general markets. That is the B2C part. Currently, we are doing the B2B, but very soon we are sending our products to the general market, like the Seto in sachets. I think it's not, you only see the Seto in sachet anywhere apart from Samba. So that is what we are trying to bring to the market to neutralize what the bottle one. Because when you go to the fast foods, that is what we are using now. You go to KFC, Pizza Inn, Chicken Inn, and all those big companies. That is what, and especially it will be good for the students. So we are also trying to find a way where we can get these products to the students of the campuses.
Any timelines? Do you have any strategic timelines to? Because you hear very soon.
Yeah.
So we just want to know.
Honestly speaking, the builder, in fact, the construction people have told us that in fact we are doing this metal thing, so within 9 months we should be done. The only hiccup now is to really get the money and then start it. But even then, it's B Plus who is going to do it. It's a big company, so I'm going to try and talk to them whether they will do that, for us whilst waiting for the money. Because if we don't pay, they won't give you the key. You understand? So within the next 12 months or 18 months, we should be able to do it.
Yes, and then with the B2C, even this year we wanted to do that this year, but because of the COVID, that is why. Because we had the brand activation project that we wanted to do, I think from March. Unfortunately, we had the COVID. So I think very soon, maybe early next year, we will start to activate that.
Thank you. Any other question?
Continuity of business. Oh, sorry. My name is Doris Esibuache. I work with the Ghana Stock Exchange. I want to know about continuity. In these institutions that you have business with, KFC, Pizza Inn and all that, what is the plan? I mean, do you have some agreements that you have gone into with that gives you the confidence and the leverage that come whatever years I'm still in business and I have all these institutions that take my product, CPC and all those institutions that take your product? What is the plan? What do you have?
Thank you so much. Before you can even supply or service these institutions, you need to get to a quality assurance systems, put that in place. And every year we are audited once from South Africa. And if you don't clear that audit, we are not going to fly. And then they reissue, in fact, we have contracts, non-disclosure agreement, one, and then sales contract with that. And it is stated categorically that if you don't clear your audit, there's no way. So it behoves on us to maintain the system to make sure that everything works. And I'm proud to say that the whole Ghana, Samba Foods, and you can check, is the only company that supplies KFC. Now they are taking some local bears, but since they came here, it is Samba Foods that we have been able to clear our audits up to today. So that is something that is so important. Without that, we can't be with them. And as I said, fortunately, we've been clearing the audit. And we keep on perfecting our systems. Even when there are issues, they call something corrective actions plan that we also do so that at least every time we clear the audit. So continuity, so long as we are there where we are okay, then they can only increase the production, the numbers. Now what they are taking is going double, triple, because we are having more the stocks now in the country. So that is something that is very good.
And then what I want to add to what you said is, most of the menu on the items on the menu goes with Sheto, and it's difficult to do away with that. And looking at what, the substitute of our Sheto is you preparing it yourself, but the contamination with the line from where you prepare to the consumer, there are a lot of contamination when it comes to the quality side. So ours serves the best. When we put it in the machine, by the time you realize it's ours, and we have all the hazard procedures that we follow. But with BS, it is a bit difficult. Even currently, with the bowl, most companies or most of these fast food use bowls. They put the shit up in, which sometimes is a bit problematic as compared to the sachet one. So I think with continuity, we can capitalize on this, and you can't do away with that. Yes.
Okay. During the strategic plan, please, my name is Kofi Osuansa, I'm from the stock exchange, please.
Okay.
Your strategic plans, are there any possibility that you expand your conglomerates to include other non-food items? More so, considering the slacks in your production lines, are you also considering either doing any forward or backward integration to remove some of these hindrances that are stalling your processes? Then the last part, looking at your financials and then the strategies that you are laying, should we be expecting any forward that you'll be moving from the gas to the main board of the stock exchange? Thank you.
Thank you so much. The first question was what? Hello?
Yes,
The first question was?
Including non-food items into your conglomerate.
Any plan to include non-food? Non-food.
Yes.
Can you give us an example? For instance, what? Non-food.
No.
When you want to diversify into your operations, you must be very clear that you diversify into related products. A lot of companies have burned their fingers, by diversifying into all sorts of things. People will be in food, the next day you see them, they are in timber, they are in hotel, they are in this, So we are really, really concerned to be in food. What we are doing, in fact, we are talking to Labour Brothers, is to do the seasoning, the cubes. We will start with packaging it for them. So we are signing some contract with them to do that, and then later on we can do it ourselves. The cubes, the barbecues, and that kind of stuff. The mayonnaise, the salad dressings, and these are all related items that goes, and you wouldn't need any machinery. You wouldn't need even if you need additional machinery, it will be that's out of your system. But non-food, I'm afraid not, because we have even the juices, we have the marmalades, that is the fruits and vegetables. We have all those things. And we used to have marmalade, Samba marmalade, and then Samba jam. It was one of the best. We had to shelve it. And in fact, our fruit juice was one of the best. But we had to shelve it when we got hold of this new plant, again, just because of space. Some of the machines are there, and we will be using it once we get to the next stage. So I wouldn't advise, or we wouldn't take it as an immediate strategy to go to non-food products. There was 3 questions.
Yes, please.
Yes.
The second had to do with considering the slugs that hinders your production lines.
Yeah.
Is there any plans of doing any forward or backward integration?
Yeah. Backwards integration might be going into farming. That's also another very big area. So what we would want to do is to have contract farmers, where we contract them, outgrowers, to suppliers. We rather support them to be growing the bananas, according to the specs and the quality requirement that you require, And so that will be for backwards integration. And forward integration will be producing more, making it more nice, making it more quality, or making it, more innovative, like the sachet thing. It is very, very convenient and innovative. So that is the more research, more product development, and then these are the things that I think we will be doing. And the third one, there were 3.
Moving into the main board.
Oh, okay, fine, thank you.
We have a question online.
Okay, please. One question from Stambik Heights, Stambik Brokerage.
Yes.
From Robert Rowe. He is asking if there has been any positive or negative impact attributed from the COVID-19 pandemic.
Oh, sure. During the lockdown, we serve the fast food people, and they were in the malls where large gatherings were prohibited. So we couldn't do much. The sales were restricted. And then, of course, the raw materials too cannot come in. So that time, things became a little bit difficult. But as the restrictions are being eased, we are able to, mitigate, these challenges. And so far, so good. We are hoping that can only be better.
We have another one online.
Okay, please. Another one from Robert Rowe. He is asking whether you are considering entering the school feeding program.
Yes and no. I wouldn't want to dwell so much on this because of our association with cocoa processing. There was a time where our granite paste, in fact, it's used in the spread, the Choco Delight. It's at about 30% of granite paste. So when the school feeding program started, they increased their demand. But then, this school feeding program is a little bit dicey, and we don't want, at the moment, we don't want to get there. Their payment, everything, so we don't want to go there. Yeah.
Any other?
Frank Bell again, 2 questions.
Yes, sir.
I did notice in listening to you that you have a lack of capacity in the area of the shuttle.
Yes, sir.
But at the same time, you are introducing new products.
Yes.
So I need some small clarity there. I thought you will work hard to sort out, to fulfill that demand before you walk into another area.
Yes.
The second one is you introduced 3 products: ketchup, mayonnaise, and kili something.
Yes.
Mix.
I'm interested in the underlying analysis that you think these products will have on the product and eventually the bottom line.
Okay.
In other words, what have you done analysis to see that the introduction of these products will impact the overall performance of the institution?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. The new products, they have been developed, and in fact, we were contracted to develop it.
Oh.
we were contracted. So I said the market is ready. You know the mayonnaise sachets and the ketchup sachets, they're all imported. All imported. And KFC uses 500,000 sachets of ketchup per month. They alone. And all the others, cumulatively, is going to, have it. And then we didn't develop this thing alone by ourselves. We used the consultants from Food Solutions. It's an American NGO that helped us, to do the development. For instance, the fortified shito, we didn't do it on our own. It was done in collaboration with GIZ and other food research institutes in Switzerland and Malaysia. So these things have been done, and there's a dire need of it because all these ones come from outside, and it can't be done in the country.
By the way, do you patent it so that you can hold on to it?
I would say no. Even the shito, I have the trademark. I've patented the trademark, but the product itself, I have not been able to patent it. The first time we went there, they were saying that shito, they say, no, I need our recipe to be patented. So that is also, patent the process is also very long, but the brand is patented. And then you were saying there was another. The first one was
the new products that you have introduced. What is the underlying analysis and its impact on the?
Oh yeah, we've done the analysis, and the feedback is good. The overall the bottom lines are very good because tomatoes. You can use the local tomatoes, and now with the greenhouse production of tomatoes is something. In fact, incidentally, I'm the board chairman of the Wenchi tomato factory, so they are also now doing these things, and with a dam very close to us, we'll be able to get the tomatoes to process. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You in the board chair, would you have any conflict of interest?
They'll be paying. They are going to be transparent, and if there's any vote, I'll just go out.
Thank you very much. I think somebody deserves a round of applause. Thank you. Now, because of COVID, you know that we cannot extend. Usually this program extends and you have so many questions, so we have to cut it at one point. So we would like to invite the Deputy Managing Director of the Ghana Stock Exchange to give us her closing remarks.
Hello everyone. Madam and the Samba team, today is indeed a very, very interesting day. I think we can all agree that the presentation from Samba has opened our eyes to just how innovative and just how high the standards at Samba is. It's also interesting that it's your first time coming back to the market for your facts behind the figures. Almost 5 years ago since you came first to the Ghana Stock Exchange to raise capital and to hear that Samba is producing to international standards that are acceptable to the KFCs of the world, that allows you to export products out of Ghana to meet demands of really let's say, the world-class standards. It's really fascinating and it's really encouraging to hear that. This is the Ghana Stock Exchange, and we are here today to help companies like yours and other Ghanaian-owned businesses to raise capital. 5 years ago, when you listed on the market, we had just launched our bond market. And our bond market today has grown to become the third largest in Africa. So the opportunities for you are even more diverse. So Samba, in your program to raise new capital, in this phase of your new expansion, you have access to reach your shareholders, to put in more equity, but also to reach to new investors in terms of a corporate bond issuance. So just, we want to take the opportunity today to reach out to all Ghanaian businesses that need to raise capital, that the stock exchange is here to support your activities to expand and to meet your targets. The critical thing for us as you engage with investors is how often you come back to them and account to them for your stewardship of the funds that they've given to you. So there, we need to understand that as we engage investors, we're coming back quarterly to talk to them about our performance and the reasons behind our performance and our strategic plans and how we are achieving them. So I think it's a very important thing to continue the engagement. And as you've started today, we know this is not the last. We can see how energized the Samba team have been, and we know that you'll come again and engage the market. To all the participants in the room, the brokers, the analysts, the investing public, the Ghana Stock Exchange facts behind the figures, the media gives you an opportunity to engage with our listed companies and to tell the reasons why we are asking people to support and invest in these businesses. We thank you very much for your presence here, for your continuing support, and we look forward to a vibrant market where we take investor education down to the street so that when consumers are picking up their jars of Samba, shito, and other condiments, they understand that this is the business they've invested in. To all those who joined us online, this is our new life. Thank you very, very much for joining us online, and continue to send in your questions, and we'll see you at our next Facts Behind the Figures. The Samba team deserves another big round of applause.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, TMT. So, on behalf of management of Ghana Stock Exchange, on behalf of the management and board of Samba Foods Limited, I want to say a very big thank you to all of you here and those joining us online for finding time or making time to be with us on this program. It's been a while, but it's better late than never. So, and then we are grateful to you. I also like to say a big thank you to the media and the analysts again for coming on this program. And as I said from the beginning, this is the first time we're meeting since the lockdown physically. And I believe that other companies would like to also come, because we miss each other, you know, so we want to be seeing your faces and we enjoy being here. So thank you. The next Far Behind the Figures date will be communicated to you very, very soon. And we hope to see you in your numbers also. Thank you so much. I would be grateful if you just exercise a little patience for us. Just stay in for a few minutes. Or get back to you while we are about to stay. Yes, whilst you are staying in, we'll have the group picture as usual. So management of GAC and then Samba will have a group picture. Please join us in here. We all do Qatar.